welcome back to another Thursday evening with SHELeads India, where powerful stories meet purpose-driven conversations. So every movement starts with a spark, and before we meet today's guest, take a moment to discover the story behind SHELeads India and the woman who lit that spark. Nikita Vora and her team are reshaping the future for women on.
Meet Priya. She's a baker based in Pune. She has been doing this business since past 4 years, but still struggled to go beyond the first year. Is it because she lacked ability or she's not ambitious enough? No. She has tried everything. She's also consistent on Instagram. She has done paid marketing, tried Google review, but none of them seems to work for it. Is it because of her skill? Probably not. In India, we have 14 million women entrepreneurs. In fact, in Pune itself, we have 3 lakh women entrepreneurs. Every woman can resonate with this story. Hi, I am Nikita Vora, a digital marketing consultant and a trainer. Been in this field for more than 15 years now. I am founder of SHELeads India. I have done my graduation from Christ University, FHS, German University, and also I am an alum of IIM Ahmedabad. At SHELeads India, we are trying to create a platform for women entrepreneurs to get an access to this marketing knowledge base, where every week we have trainings where women can come online or offline to learn this marketing tools. We do group trainings, we have one-on-one consultation call, we identify marketing software which they can implement or adopt to scale their business. Our end goal is to help women entrepreneurs understand marketing, implement those marketing strategies, and scale up their business. We are also featured and appreciated by various media houses. We had 2 flagship events in 2023 and 2024 where we also saw 200 plus women entrepreneurs coming in together to listen to our national trainers. We are the bridge to connect trainers, industry experts, and marketing tools with this women entrepreneur. We have a community which is close to 40,000 women entrepreneurs based in Pune. We created this platform understanding the logic that today also women associate their self-worth to their financial freedom. And unless they scale up their business, they are not going to achieve this financial freedom which they have dreamt of. We also want them to go one step beyond and create more opportunities for more women. If you are a women entrepreneur, please do join this community by clicking on the link below. Thank you.
So we've got some really interesting work going on within SHELeads India. And tonight we're diving into a space that's close to all of us, our health, but not the, lose 10 kgs in 10 days type of thing. We're talking about real, sustainable, empowering wellness. So joining us is someone who walks the talk. Please welcome Shraddha Toshniwal. She's an award-winning nutritionist and the founder of FitFuel. Hi, Shraddha.
Hi, thank you, Dipti, for having me here. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. I'm just going to talk a little bit about you before we dive in, okay? So for the audience, Shraddha turned her own 17-kilo weight loss journey into a movement. From serving as director at Fat to Slim to now running FitFuel, she's helped hundreds rethink how they eat, move, and live. One smart action at a time, that's what it takes. So we'll unpack the myths around healthy eating, how to stay consistent, even with 10 tabs open in your mind, and why mindset is the missing link. So go and grab your green tea or whatever your guilty pleasure is, and let's jump in. Shraddha, are you ready?
Yes.
Excellent. So Shraddha, your journey into wellness started with your own personal transformation. Okay, can you take us back to that moment? What sparked that shift for you?
Okay. So actually in 2019, I was trying to lose weight and I tried all kind of diets and nothing worked for me. So, like after losing hope, I was like, why not study myself and maybe then try it on my, like try understanding food. So I went to VLCC. I finished my certification there. That time, me and one of my friend, both of us, we were trying to reduce weight together. And by not going on fat diets or not going on very strict diets, it was simple, like eating simply clean food and home cooked meals. And we saw that I lost 17 kilos. She herself had a journey of 19 kilos. And that surprised me. So, if I talk about my education background, I've actually done MBA in marketing and operations. And I was working in Tata Motors when I was just studying about that. After seeing that journey of one of my friends, I was like, why not try this and see if I can really help anyone. And if it works out, great. Otherwise, I can always go back to my corporate job. And luckily, it's been 5 months. I didn't have to run back.
Fantastic. I think that spark is so important. And when you go through it yourself, that journey is transformative. Absolutely. Nice. So you moved from the company Fat to Slim to founding FitFuel. So what changed in your approach? Can you dig a little deeper and maybe even say what do you think was missing in the weight loss industry?
Yes, absolutely. So I started my journey as a director of Fat to Slim Pune in the year of 2020. And it's always good to start under someone when you're just entering this industry and you really don't know what's happening other than the bookish knowledge. So when I was working with them, I saw that my clients were getting the weight loss, they were getting the number on the scale, but there were many things that were missing. And if the clients went a little bit off track, they gained back the weight. And I didn't really see that changes in terms of the blood reports or in terms of the overall health. So I just realized that that's not what I want to do after 3 years of being there. Like I had a wonderful time, but that's when I realized that no, I really want to make that change hormonally. So, for example, if I give you today, one of my clients, she joined me 1.5 year back, and she's lost 42 kilos till date. So,
Wow.
but that's not the best part. The best part was that last year when she went to a gynecologist, that she has this gynecologist for 10 years now. So the gynecologist told her that after the scan that your one fallopian tube is a little bit swollen and it's almost about to get infected. You have had this history, so let's see if we can work out the diet. Next year we'll go for an operation. And she called me today, like she had the scan yesterday, and the reports, the everything, there was nothing left at the fallopian tube. It was absolutely clean. They were surprised. And the first question the doctor asked her that, did you go for an operation? Eh, So
That's
this happened.
amazing.
Yeah. So that's the thing I wanted to do, frankly. And that's why I founded FitFuel.
It's amazing. That example is it's a big one. Like there's a huge difference. But I think in majority of people who go through this journey, even the smallest difference, not just in the weight, but in your overall health, can help with so many myriad of different issues inside the body that we have no idea about.
Absolutely. I think when you are on a diet or when you're trying to make that change, you should feel better every single day. And
Mm,
that's very important.
right.
That's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very nice. So your Fit Fuel talks about one action at a time. What does that mean for you? Because the world is actually obsessed with drastic diets and quick fixes. So how does that work?
So, many of the clients that come to me are the ones that have done many diets, have done drastic diets, and that they lost that weight when they were on the diet, but they gained back a lot more. And when I talk about one action at a time, what at FitFuel we meant is that if somebody is losing that weight or if somebody is improving their health, can they take care of it later on? And when we started digging deeper on how to make sure that they take care of themselves, we realized that instead of giving them a very strict diets, it's important to educate them on the steps that they can take.
Yes.
So eventually in the journey, like, once the client has gone through a journey of 3 months or so, they know what to eat. Even if they're not again joining the program, they know how to maintain that weight, or they know how to maintain that health. Or even one very interesting thing that they know is that where to go for research papers. Like, instead of just believing everything that they go on the internet, they go and research about it and then apply it on their body. So that shift happens when, that you tell them that, just do this one thing maybe, and we'll see what next we can do. Also, the reason why we started with one step at a time is because I realized that diet has been a very big cult word, kind of like, you have to leave this or you have to leave that. And many times, most of the people, they think that they can't do it.
Mm.
And that is actually not just about what you're eating. In reality, I would tell all those people who think that they can't do the diet, they're already eating 3 meals a day. So they're doing almost 70% of the work daily. It's just that 30% left on what to eat and how to eat actually that makes that changes. So when somebody comes to me and they say, like, we can't do the diet, what I tell them, like, let's do one action this week. Next week we'll add another action. And by the time they're done with a month, they see an enormous change in themselves.
Mm.
So that's what one step at a time means.
Yeah, it can get really overwhelming when it's a do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this all at once. These habits don't get formed. Then you need those small, small habits along the way, and then it all builds up at the
Yes,
end.
that's true.
Nice, nice. Okay, so I mean, many women leaders, they do face, they were leaders or entrepreneurs. They do face like emotional eating, time constraints, inconsistent routines, and all of those things. So, how do you help these high performance ladies tackle these hurdles realistically?
Absolutely. So I'll answer your question in three parts. The first is emotional eating. So, if there's a void internally that you have not worked on, or if there's a trauma or something that has been bothering you for long, you will eat emotionally. So many times, what people do that is, to fill that void, they eat.
Yeah.
Now, one way is that they work on their health, mental health, which is again a very important pillar of your overall health. And second, what I do with them, because I'm not a mental health expert, so what I do is, for example, Deepti, tell me what's your one favorite food which is not healthy but you really like it.
Mm, chocolate.
Okay, chocolate is actually healthy, but okay, I'll talk about five, maybe 5 star, maybe five
Yeah,
star.
five star Snickers or something.
Okay,
We shouldn't
how?
name names.
No worries. Uh, how often do you eat them?
Once every 2, 3 weeks.
Once every 2, 3 weeks. So I can say that maybe in 15 days you eat one.
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah. So in a month you eat two. And if I talk about 52 weeks, that is in a year, you eat 104 chocolates.
Right.
Right? So what I do is that I tell them, the client, that this is how much you're eating in a year. And for example, if you're 30, just give an example, if you're 30. So what I tell them, that maybe you started eating your chocolates when you were 5 years old.
Right.
So this 104 into 25 is the number of
Wow.
chocolates you've eaten minimum. Right? So basically, no chocolates are not going anywhere. They're here. And I ask them, like, next time when they want to eat this, I'm saying, please enjoy it, please have it, but calculate it. Now, what happens when they calculate? No, they know that this chocolate is not going anywhere. They will keep eating it. That's why when they even eat, for example, like if they're having chocolate, they might stop at a brick rather than eating the entire chocolate,
Right.
because they know there's no scarcity there. So this is one way I help them in emotional eating, like, calculate, and it works for 70% of them. So that's one. Second, if you talk about time constraints, so you have an issue with the diet when you have to cook separately for yourself. Okay.
Correct.
So when they come to me, I ask them, what is generally being cooked at home, and what is the time, like, for example, can you spend 20 minutes a day into cooking?
Hmm.
And based on what they tell me, I devise the diet plan. So something that's easy for them to follow and does not take away too much of the time. So that really works out. And the third thing is the inconsistent time schedule. So, for example, I don't know if you've heard this, but many times on Instagram, people talk about that, we all have circadian rhythm, and ideally you should have your dinners by 6:30, 7 p.m. Now, when they come to me and they're like, Shraddha, I am coming home by 9 p.m. How do you expect me to eat my dinner at 6:30, right? So I tell them that it's okay. First of all, even if you're following 70% of your diet, if this one thing is going wrong, it does not mean that there will be no improvement in your health. You will
Yeah.
see improvement, one. Second, then I asked them that, instead of going for a heavy dinner at 9 p.m., can we go for something that's light and maybe you have something around 6:30, which is a heavy snack. And they're able to do it.
Hmm.
So I think it's more about understanding how the lifestyle is and then fitting your diet according to that rather than asking them to change their lifestyle completely, which is sometimes really does not happen because you have work commitments.
Yes, yes, and especially here, work finishes quite late, and then there's a lot of traffic on the way home, and then when you get home, there's so much to do. So I know it gets tough with the timings, but there's always a solution as well, though, right? So the
Certainly.
solution is nice, a heavy snack at 6:30 and something very light when you get home.
Yes.
Okay, nice. So then, what are some myths then about healthy eating that you wish that people would just like stop doing?
One of the myths that people have that they need to cut down carbohydrates from the diet. And second myth is that they might have this detox drinks and recipes that that will make them lose that weight, extra weight that they've got. So both of this are a myth. So for example, carbohydrates. Actually, your body requires. So there's a science here that for anything that we do, our body requires energy, and our
Yes.
body's most preferred source is glucose, which comes from your carbohydrates. So now, when you cut down that carbs from your diet, your body is smart. Your body can make that carbohydrates itself from protein and fats. However, the problem is that there are some inflammation proteins that are released while that production happens.
Right.
Now, you must have heard that those people who go on this very strict diets, paleo diet, keto diets, or fat diets, they start having hair fall. They start having
Mm,
duller skin. For hair, for your skin, you require protein. But now, where is the protein going? It's going into making carbohydrates rather than taking care of your structure.
interesting.
So, if people know that carbohydrates are actually not the demon, it's how quickly we give carbohydrates. That's the issue. Then I think they'll have a better approach towards eating healthy food. And as I said, detox drink. So there's no quick solution for anything. Like, I mean, you can lose 10 kgs in a 10 days, but that will be very unhealthy for your body, right? And the number of problems that it will cause, you don't even have any idea. And I should not say this, but it can even trigger your cancer cells.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So, I mean, if you want to really do it in the healthy manner, it will take some time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
rather go for that long-term approach. Ra- Yeah,
I love how scientifically you easily but scientifically you've explained the links between protein and carbs and as you said you need a little bit of everything.
absolutely.
But I think let's rewind. I think I missed a point. You said how quickly the carbs are taken, or something
Yes.
about what is that?
Okay. Thank you for asking, actually. So our body is made up of trillions of cells, okay? So each cell works like a factory. Now,
Right.
every cell has a powerhouse, which supplies power to that entire cell. Now, what is the work of that powerhouse? Is to take this glucose and convert it into the energy that our body understands. Now, what happens is that when we deliver the carbs too fast, that means that we give too much of glucose at a very fast speed. The cells get overwhelmed because they might have a space of maybe taking care of 4 units, but you have supplied 10 units. They don't have any space. So what will they do? They'll start throwing out that glucose that they've taken from you. And that causes inflammation, that causes damages to the cell, and the body shuts down. Because the body is a factory at the end of the day. If the cell gets too much, it will shut down its function. They're like, no, I can't do it.
So when you say the glucose gets released when it's too much, is that linked with blood sugar?
Yes, it is. It is linked
Right.
with blood sugar.
Right.
Absolutely. So, if I take you a step back and explain this to you in a little simpler manner, also. So, blood sugar is what is actually blood glucose.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever we eat something, our body breaks it down into small blocks. Those are known as glucose. Now, every cells, as I told you, they take glucose and they convert it into energy. They want a steady supply of it.
Hmm.
For example, like how a factory works, they want raw materials at a certain time. If they get too much of raw materials, they will not have any space.
Just in time
Just in
manufacturing.
time. Exactly, you're right. So that's the same way. When we eat too much, so like carbs are important, but when we eat a lot of them, or when we eat it too fast, what happens
Hmm.
is that we have supplied too much glucose to these factories,
Yeah.
and they shut down. Due to
Okay.
which it's released back into the bloodstream, so your blood sugar levels go high.
Hmm.
Second, because they're throwing it back into the bloodstream, so they're not just releasing glucose, they're throwing out something known as free radicals, which causes inflammation,
Ah.
which can trigger your cells. And very frankly, those people who have any health issues, it triggers from constant inflammation.
Yes.
So this is what's been happening
My
at the back.
my double dose of watermelon juice and orange juice this afternoon. It's really not a great idea.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. And I think that brings me nicely to the next question, where you can just tie this whole thing off, because I think you've explained it really well. Is bringing science and sustainability together in your nutrition plans. And I would ask about the method in the madness, but I think there's method in the magic, the way you explained it. So you can just tie it up nicely.
Absolutely. So when I explained you this about your cells being a factory and how they manage glucose, so for anyone who is trying to cure anything, let it be any health issues, or they're just trying to reduce weight, or even if they're trying to gain weight, they need to work on that inflammation. And how do
Yeah.
they work on the inflammation? Is by working on the blood sugar levels.
Yes.
That means you supply energy to the
Yeah.
cells, but you so apply it at the time when it's required, not overloading the system. One. Second,
Yes.
how to do it sustainably. So instead of just learning about what to eat, we have a lot of information on the internet that tells this much protein you require, this much carbohydrates you require, this much proteins you require, and this much fats you require, and vice versa. Uh, but the information that's lacking is how to eat it. For
Hmm.
example, if I'm going out in a restaurant, I want to have sushi. So instead of directly just jumping into sushi, I'll have my plate of edamame and then I'll enter sushi. Reason being, edamame is rich in fiber and protein. So it will slow down the process of glucose breaking down, which means now the
Hmm.
supply will be slow to the cells, to the
Yeah.
factory, which will manage my blood sugar levels, and I will feel energetic for a longer duration.
Wow. So would you say that edamame is your go-to snack then?
For when I'm having sushi, yes. When I'm having sushi, yes.
Excellent. It would be nice to know a few more items like that. Maybe at the end we'll revisit what would be go-to snacks for people who.
Yes.
Uh,
Before we enter actually the second question, I just want to say it's not about edamame. It's about eating anything that is fibrous in nature.
yes, yeah, of course, absolutely,
Perfect.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's lots of different options that we can eat, like
Exactly.
edamame.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. So now, with this sustainability and nutrition, your work with two places, two companies, Earth Based and Panache Greens. So So they touch a little bit on veganism and conscious eating and community wellness. And this is all the rage everywhere in every country now. So where do you see this all going next?
I think that vegan industry, um, it will take some time for it to really hit a mark, because there's a lot of gap. Like I have seen that many people turn vegan, but they don't know what to do. For example, exactly as you said. So, for example, like French fries. Okay, French fries, they're all vegan. Okay, but are they very healthy for you?
Mm.
So there's a huge gap. I've seen that now markets, like companies like Whole Truth, Cosmix, they're getting into plant-based protein to supply to the vegan industry, like those people who are choosing to be vegan, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So the many companies coming into the space and helping individuals, those who are choosing veganism. But
Yeah.
there's still a lot more to go, because I think this industry needs to change a bit of their approach. Or I think they're actually changing this right now, because like I attended this vegan India conference last this month itself, and
Mm.
one of the speakers told that after 5 years of being into this industry, now when I talk about veganism, I clear it out that it's okay if you're eating non-veg, it's okay if you're vegetarian. Veganism is a choice. It's not a cult. It's not
Right.
something. If you're not doing it, it doesn't mean you're doing something very wrong. So
Mm.
that thing is changing a bit by bit. I think that shift is happening. It will take maybe another 5 years for that shift to be there,
Yeah.
and many experts entering into this field will help individuals really make that choice.
Yeah. And when you talk about choice, options are there, but as you said, in 5 years' time, hopefully there'll be like a whole range of um, options that we can have a look at for even those people who do eat meat, just to have an option to be a little bit more
Exactly.
conscious about everything. So,
Environment.
yeah.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. And also, those who are choosing veganism, to be more educated about what they can eat, what they can
Hmm.
really do, so that their health does not get compromised in this belief.
Yeah, so sometimes I think if they've again they might eat more too many carbs because they can't eat,
A lot of
this or
protein. Yeah.
that, and yeah, oh, very interesting. Okay, and that's what you do, right? You coach. So you're not just
Yes.
a nutritionist. You coach hundreds of people. So, what are the mindset shifts that you have? Um, how do you say, worked with, or even mindset blocks that you've faced?
Okay. So the problem that I see here with many of the clients is the body shaming. Okay. They think that if they're looking a certain way, it means they're healthy. If they have gained some pounds, they're so worried that about how they look. So that mindset shift has to be there. Like I have to tell them that you're good the way you are. You are if you
Right.
are working on your health, it is just to like because you want to improve your lifestyle, you want to improve your quality of life. It does not mean that there's something wrong with you. Because I feel the diet industry makes a lot of money by weight loss pills or some very drastic things that they sell because people are so insecure about the way they look. So I think that mindset block is where I actually have to work with my clients, where I
Mm,
do one. Second, like that the thing I already told you that many people think that they cannot do the diet because of a lot of things around on the internet that you can't eat this or you can't eat that or if you're eating this. And somewhere I've seen that like for example, so like when my clients like new clients come to me, they said, Shraddha, I ate a pizza and the face is down and they feel so guilty about it. I'm like, why are you feeling guilty? It's okay. Know what to do next rather than feeling guilty about it. And it's okay to enjoy your favorite foods one in a while. It's so these
I've
are the
read
things.
somewhere that as well. I've read somewhere that even if it's a healthy food and you don't enjoy it properly, like mentally, it still doesn't digest right. And
It
if
would.
you, yeah, so you need to be very present and positive about the food that you're eating so that your body accepts it and digests it properly.
You're right. You're actually right because there is something called the brain gut axis, and they're
Yes.
always like they're best friends, and they're always chatting with each other. Like one person, if they say that digest well, they will be like, "Oh, I will," and if one says that this is healthy, but I don't like it, but I still have to eat it. So what's the message that's going that if you want, don't digest it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
what happens is that the digestion doesn't happen even if they're eating healthy, even if they're eating like the best according to the health, like like the best kind of foods that there are there, but it won't work.
Right, right. I think the mental and emotional state, as we mentioned earlier, is so important with this
Yes, it is.
diet nutrition. Yeah. Okay, let's shift topics a little bit and talk about hormonal health. This trend of cycle syncing, is it is it a trend or is it science backed?
Thank you for asking this. Actually, it is a science-backed theory. So, like men have 24-hour cycle, they have a circadian rhythm. Even women have a 24-hour cycle, which is a circadian rhythm, but they have another cycle. That is your menstrual cycle, your entire period cycle, which is generally 28 to 30 days, right? So, in this 28 days of your cycle, you have four phases. And in all these four phases, different hormone is dominant. So, for example, if you're following the same kind of workout, the same kind of diet, the same kind of working also, you will feel that, maybe this is just not working for you.
Ah,
For example, like some days I don't know. I hope that you can relate this to me. Relate with me. Some days you feel like you've done such an amazing job today. Whatever you had on your calendar, you banged on, did it right. And some days it becomes difficult to even make that one. Uh, you know
totally agree.
exactly. That's because that's a different hormone at place that time. So if you're pushing at the wrong time, you will have like those failures. For example, like today we were planning a podcast, so I specifically chose my ovulation dates to be like for the podcast because I know I'll be the most interactive, I'll be my best.
Wow. That
Yes.
is so awesome.
Yes.
You can hack
So
your menstrual cycle.
yes, if you know about your cycle, trust me, you can hack your cycle very well. Also, you'll know what to do. For example, when you're just about to get in your periods at 1 week, many clients struggle. They're like, I want to eat that piece of cake, I want to eat that chocolate, and that's okay. If they
Yeah.
know that in that time of the cycle they can increase by 300 calories, they will not feel that guilty because your body requires that for your progesterone. So,
Right.
like, I mean, knowing your cycle really helps you in planning your monthly calendar as well in terms of work. Also, in terms of your workouts, in terms of what you're going to eat when. So, for
Hmm.
example, like, there are these trends, like, one meal a day kind of thing. And, like many women want to try it. So,
Hmm.
ovulation is the time when you try it out, not when you are in your periods or when you're about to get your periods. You will definitely fail that time. So,
Wow. So
yeah.
women who are watching this and if you're in your 20s and 30s, whatever, take notice. It's too late for some of us. Please take notice of this.
If you are still getting your periods, you fall into this category. If you're getting your periods, yes.
Yes. Great. You've run successful workshops as well with Indian Medical Association, colleges, corporates. Okay, great. And obviously, these going to have lots of insights that you've had with your audiences. So, can you give us some insights that have really hit home with audiences where they've come back and been like, wow, I love this point?
Yes. So the first workshop that I take for any corporates or schools or education institutes is not what to eat, but how to eat. I think that
Okay.
knowledge is one thing that's very lacking. And post that workshop, right? Like I tell them four things that they can do, and as I told you, one step at a time. So I tell them to do one in 1 week, and then second week you add the second option. And post the workshop is done, they're surprised because now they know that they can make the change. It's
Right.
not that difficult. I think they're surprised by the end that, oh my god, we're just doing this much, can I really make changes?
Yeah.
Because they're science backed. There's so many people who have done it for themselves and have seen amazing results. Even for those people who have done it, like when I show them the trends about even for cancer patients, like how have they overcome their journey, how have they made it easy. And I think that is one thing that they realize that no, we can make these changes. And if you're feeling irritated throughout the day, it's because of what we are eating on the first meal of as a first meal of the day. What are we eating? And it's so much dependent on that. So I think yeah, that's like the power is within them. Them realizing
Yes.
that the power is within them and they can actually make that change and they don't have to go for some fancy diets for it. Just
Yes.
learning how to eat will make that difference. So I think that's
Yeah.
one thing to take.
That's the thing that really stands out. Okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Fabulous. And lastly, so you've been with SheLeads for a while, and maybe you can just tell us how has SheLeads helped you in terms of founding and growing your business?
Yes. Okay. So SheLeads was one networking platform which got me Panache Greens as my client in the first month of joining, which generally does not happen, with other networking platforms. You have to invest minimum 6, 8 months and then you get a client. But they were the one who introduced me to Panache Greens very fast.
Yes.
Second, when there were so many flagship events that has happened of She Leads. So they
Yeah.
are an opportunity to really connect with women. And the best part about being a nutritionist is that everybody wants to know something or the other. If
Hmm.
you go into a room, if there are 10 people, at least 9 people will have some questions. Uh,
Absolutely.
so because of
Those
that,
rooms are buzzing.
sorry, what?
The rooms are buzzing with
Yeah,
those,
the room is buzzing.
yeah.
Exactly. So that pushed me actually in the direction of what women are actually facing. And as you said about hormonal health, right? So what are they facing? And the certain things that we thought is normal for people to know, I realized that it's not normal. They might not even know it, right? So
Absolutely.
absolutely. So that helped me study more. They which approach do I want to use with my clients? What are the things that they're not saying? Maybe the clients are not saying. So it helped me ask the right questions to my current clients. So
Right.
yeah. So Sheila did not only empower me in terms of the clientele, but it also empowered me in terms of how to give. What are the questions that the clients are not directly asking?
Yes.
How can I improve that service for them? So that's how Sheila has helped me.
Excellent. And then obviously the weekly training and guest meets and all of these things help with the networking as well, and some few
Yes.
marketing tricks here and there, which all of us can pick up.
Yes,
Fantastic.
true. And one thing, as you said about training, right? So I remember there was this training on leadership, and when they talked about marketing, they said one thing that the best thing that sells is being authentic. Okay, just being authentic has so much more power than what you
What?
think you should say. And that got to me when I
Good.
started delivering my content in that manner. And yeah, since then, I feel that people are relating to my content even more.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that one.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Sheila does help a lot.
Super. Lovely. Anything else you'd like to add before we sign off for the day? I
So
think,
yes,
yes,
just one thing that
yes,
when you
please.
are going into a diet, or if you're going into any kind of workout or any lifestyle changes, you please be kind to yourself. Please be
Mm,
kind to yourself in this entire journey because it's going to take some time for you to adjust, for your mind to adjust with it. And that's when one step at a time really works. So, and the first step is being kind to yourself, frankly. So, that's one thing I would want to tell.
I love that. I love that. It's very, very important. And it's probably the one thing that most people don't even do to begin with. They don't even think about that part. Yes. Very nice. Be kind to yourself. Awesome, Shraddha. Thank you so much. You've really broken some myths and some noise around health and wellness, and reminding us that sustainable change is not about sacrificing anything, just about making smart choices and being consistent, and compassion, I'll add there as well, being kind to yourself. So thank you so much, Shraddha.
Thank you, Dipti, for having me here. You've been an amazing host, and thank you for asking such questions. I will go back and think about what more can I do now because of the questions that you asked me. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's been really, really fun chatting with you. And to our listeners, if you're ready to ditch the guilt and embrace food freedom, please check out Shraddha's work at FitFuel by Shraddha.com. Correct, Shraddha?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Her Instagram is also full of a lot of hacks and myth-busting gems here and there. So in this episode, if this episode has made you think about your plate and your pace, as you said, one step at a time, you can share it with a friend. You can tag us at SHELeads India and hit the follow button. And we'll see you next Thursday at the same time with the same energy.